So Lyndon, we're here to announce that you've probably unexpected. It's not going to be a massive surprise for everyone, but you've accepted the captaincy of Coleraine Football Club. How does it feel?
Feels amazing. I've been vice captain now for I think it's 5 or 6 years, and obviously to get the armband now and be able to say that I'm the captain of my hometown club and the club that I grew up supporting. It's an honour for me and my family as well. Like obviously I found out last week and told them as well, and obviously everyone's over the moon. When I first came in, Bev was the captain, then played under David Ogilvy, and then obviously Stevie O, and they were all great captains. Learnt a lot off them, and probably learnt more off them because I was playing beside them every week as well. And then there's other players at the club that weren't captains that were more experienced, like Neil McCafferty, Rory Higgins, Stephen Lowry's of this world as well. And you just want to take bits from everyone and obviously mould yourself. You don't want to be the same as I'll not be the same as what Stevie was before and what other people were before, but I want to lead the team in my own way and help people as much as possible. And I've spoke to the Dean about it, and it's an important role for him, just to be that connect between the players and him as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Like obviously when you're growing up, you have that dream of going to England, Scotland and being professional over there, but when I realised that probably wasn't going to happen for me, then I set my sights here and I knew this is what I wanted, but never did I ever dream of being here 10 years later, signing a new 3-year contract, the club being full-time and obviously me now being captain. So I would have bit your hand off for that. Like.
An hour and 10 minutes ago we announced that Lyndon was captain. You sat down with him a couple of weeks ago and had the conversation. You even took him out for a Chinese from the rumours are right.
Healthy one.
You know, when you first took on the job, obviously again it's something that was being discussed because when Steve O'Donnell stepped away from the club, how easy was it in appointing Lyndon as captain, and you know, what is it about him that makes it the choice you made without it just being sentimental, like, oh, you know, he was vice captain before, we'll make him captain? What do you see in him?
Yeah, and it wasn't something that I dived into straight away. I think most people would possibly expected Lyndon to be the new captain, but I think I wanted to take 2 or 3 weeks to assess things, to see how the group behaved. I think, as you said, there was big personalities and big leaders have possibly moved on, but that's when new leaders come in and they develop and they sort of grow into that leadership roles. And Lyndon has been very, very impressive on and off the pitch since day one in pre-season. His attitude in around the change rooms, his driving of standards, helping new players come in and settle off the pitch. And one thing's that can't be questioned is his love for the club either. So look, he's a local lad. He wants the club to be successful. He's going to give everything for that, and he's going to drive standards within the dressing room. My relationship to him has been strong, and we've got a good communication between me and him, and which he can relay things on to the players, and I think he's going to be a very good captain, a very good leader for the club for many years still to come.
From the day we've stepped in, like on the first day of pre-season, everyone's been excellent. New signings, they've bonded very well. Everyone that's still at the club, like were here previous, have welcomed everyone with open arms, and to be fair, the first couple of weeks has been excellent. And obviously it's a credit to the club as well, because the hard work that they put in to get this ready for us was second to none, and now we've stepped in, as I say, from day one of pre-season, and it's been brilliant. The atmosphere is great. You're seeing everyone, like every morning you're coming in, you're eating breakfast with different people every morning, you're eating lunch with different people, we're gymming together, you maybe have a different gym partner every day, and obviously you're on the pitch and doing what you love doing every day together. So there's plenty of laughs and stuff, but Dean and Michael are setting their sights out that, like, when you step on the pitch, it's a serious stuff starts. And I think training's been excellent, and it's a credit to them too, and Junior as well. But it's been very enjoyable. There hasn't been many days where we've been like coming off a training pitch thinking that was awful. But we've still got a lot of mileage in the legs, so I think people enjoy that more, players enjoy that more, where you're not just constantly running. You're involving the ball a lot as well. So as I say, the club's been excellent, and to be fair, all the lads, new and old, have been second to none and bought into what this club's about. I think we've got a good balance as well. We've got the right amount of experience, and we've also got the young lads coming through, and then we've got other players coming into the club that want to excel in like first team football and get that experience. So like what we want to do as a club, Dean has his ideas and Michael has his ideas, and everyone's buying into them, and it's been excellent. And I think in the pre-season games already that we've had, you can see bits coming together, and that's only been 2 or 3 weeks, and it's really enjoyable to be a part of. And I just think moving forward, if everyone just keeps buying into what Dean wants and what Michael wants and Junior wants as well, then I think we're only going to go in one direction. If you'd asked me 6 months ago about the young lads like Alfie, Aidan, Sen and Sam, they wouldn't have maybe spoke to you in the quarter when they walk past you right in the training pitch. They're just very quiet and they're always together. Whereas now they're getting a wee bit chirpy and they're appealing their fines, but they're getting involved, and like it's just, you can see them now coming out of their shell because they're comfortable around. They probably were comfortable around us before, but they're even more comfortable now because they're seeing us 5 times a week. And we're maybe all sitting together at breakfast or sitting together at lunch, or like last week, me and Aidan like just come out of like away from the group and done our gym session together just as a pair. And it's just wee things like that where like if he can learn one thing off me and one thing off Dean Jarvis, one thing off Jamie Glacken, then hopefully we can keep improving them as players, because there's no doubt in their ability. But obviously it's a tough league, and I know myself coming through at 17, it's a sink or swim league. But I've no doubt in like the 4 of them especially are second to none, and they've been excellent so far in pre-season.
When you were coming through, it was you and it was Adam and it was Jamie and it was Brad, the ones that really sort of stood out and stood up with regards to taking on the challenge of stepping into first team football. And obviously Brad's gone on and had a career in Scotland. Jamie went and had his time at Crusaders, and then Darren is now back again. And Adam's moved on, but all of you, as if you were stopped playing today, you'd say you've had successful careers. Yeah. When you look at those 4 players, what future can you see in front of them?
I think if the 4 of them keep working hard, they can have better careers than what we've had. Because I think there's probably more opportunities there now than what there was 10 years ago for us. And seeing them on the training pitch, so they probably all first started training with us. Sam was probably slightly later, but the Aidan, Alfie and Senan have all been training nearly a year, and like the improvement already you can see in them. And then now even in the full-time environment, you can just see them starting to take off, and again they're buying into what Dean wants. And what I like about them as well, they're willing to learn. Some kids nowadays are just, they can be lazy, can be standoffish, can think they're nearly higher than what they are, but what I love about them is they're not like that at all. And I think that's probably partly to do with the group that we have, because we won't let anyone get too high or above their station. But as I say, like I think if they just keep working hard and listening to the manager, and hopefully listening to experienced players as well, I think the world's their oyster.
I was down at the club a few weeks ago, and wasn't that many people beating around, and I put my head around the corner and I saw 2 players running back up and down a pitch. You and young Patrick Kelly had come, who was back just before the start of his pre-season. Patrick's obviously stepped into his pre-season and has been given a couple of opportunities with the first team. We both know he'd been training with them a good bit, but how exciting is it to see that his career is taking this next step where, yes, of course he could still go out alone, but actually they're getting a good look at him at first team level. It's
unbelievable, but it doesn't even surprise me now with Patrick. Seeing him stepping in as a 16-year-old, the way them boys are now coming in, you just knew there was something special that night when he first came in and trained, and obviously they see him then develop, play 25, 30 games for us and move on. You just knew. I think Patrick's got a great family as well and good people around him. He was always going to stay grounded, and like to see him do now what he's doing, like it's a pleasure to watch. And obviously, as you say, we were training together in pre-season. Just any time he's home or any time like we get an opportunity, we'll do stuff like that or go for a coffee. It's always nice to get a catch up with him. I just don't think I'll run with him too often because he beat me, so I didn't like that.
He was taking free kicks, telling us that the last time he was prizing free kicks, James Ward-Prowse was teaching some tips. It's a different level.
That's just shows you where he's at, but again, he deserves it. He's worked hard to get where he is, and there's no doubt in the ability that he even had here, and obviously he's went on to do more, and I've no doubts that Patrick will have a good career in England, and hopefully he can get more minutes even in pre-season here with West Ham first team, and hopefully it's not long before we see him playing for the Northern Ireland senior team. It's clear that we need to obviously improve on the last 3 seasons. We've finished 6th. We've been to 2 cup finals and lost in them. So in my head, and obviously in everyone's head, we're all here to be successful. And if I don't think there's anyone in the changing room that is not wanting to go and challenge for every trophy that we're in. And is that possible? We don't know yet. But we're putting in the hard yards now, and obviously that's what pre-season's for. We've been working hard, and I think what the style of play that Dean's implementing, again, everyone's buying into that. So improvement on the last couple of years is massive, and hopefully within the next couple of years, we're challenging for every trophy every single season. Because for me as well, becoming captain, that's the one thing I want to do. I want to lead this club to success. The club, the town, the team, everyone involved, because it is one big family around here. So in my head, that's what I want. When it'll come, hopefully very soon. So the aim is to improve on last season and the season before, and then we'll just see where it takes us.